Are we going? Are we
Are we
going?
here?
Are we in? I see the chat starting to buzz. I see that
Yeah.
people are just chatting already, getting that chat going. Welcome to Game Notes Daily. Here we go. My boy Merles, we got G in the background pulling the strings, the Wizard of Oz back there. Amazing night last night. I felt unsatisfied. I don't know about you, and I know
I,
you were pissed off, I'm sure, 10
I
minutes into the game, Merles, but
I saw it 10 seconds or 20 seconds into the game when Max Domi, he went and ran Petrangelo from behind on the very first shift. He should have been thrown in the box for 5 minutes right away. And I was like, oh my God, what is he doing? Like, those teams that you have those meetings, you're like, let's come out and try to be physical, and it's not your game.
yeah.
That's what they tried to do. He should have been thrown in the box for 5 minutes right away. They got away with that one. And then what Jamie Benn was, I couldn't believe my eyes this morning when I'm watching the game. I was like, is this live?
Yeah.
Is this really happening? I have nobody to talk to because I got my phone away. That was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen happen.
Yeah. And I think too, to a bigger point, it was just not their night in total with their fans, like in-house, like what happened last night. Popcorn thrown on players going on the ice. Shit thrown on the ice like crazy. Somebody gets hit on a rim around puck that just bleeds over the glass. That thing was humming. I don't know if we have an update. Was there an update? I thought I'd find out on social media of like if that really crushed someone at the end of, I believe it was either the first or second period. Some fan got popped in the face with a puck. Like it was just craziness all over. Jamie Benn's punted from the game. They're down on their first shot on goal. Vegas is pumping, and you're right, Merles. This is my overall analysis. Is exactly what you said. I put it on the chat last night. I think they wanted to come out and set a tone. I think they wanted to come out and be physical on the Golden Knights, and it just completely backfired. It just completely like they should have just came out and played their game and been rock solid and kind of let the game come to them a little bit. Instead, they tried to dictate this tough guy hockey, and it totally blew up in their face.
Yeah, they were
Completely.
fine those first two games. They both went to
Yes.
overtime. They're right there, and they just went crazy. I'm telling you, like I don't know what Domi was thinking. Then Domi went crazy again. I saw he just got 5,000 for the slash. They got to look at the hit from behind. And I think Ben has a hearing today.
He has a
I think
hearing. Yep.
I don't see him playing next game. And that spiraled the whole organization, the whole city out of control when he did that. And it was just a wild scene to do that. I still don't believe it actually happened because I was watching on delay. So it's like, wait, is this weird? Am I sleeping? Like, what is going on? It was wild. So it ruined all my bets. I lost both bets right away. And the other thing was too, on that penalty kill, they were doing a great job killing it. And you remember they got the 2-on-1 the other way, and they had a great chance, and he missed it. I'm like, oh no, boom, right back the other way. We used to call it the Japanese breakout over in when we played in Korea because they would always miss the net, and it goes all the way around, right back the other way.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I mean,
lights out for all my bets, lights out for Dallas. I already started looking at my flights in Vegas. I started looking at hotels. I'm doing all the research. It's over.
it's over. Hey, you're jumping all. This thing is closed. This thing is cashed. This thing is closed. I didn't know what to expect going into the game because I really like Vegas. I think they play a good game. Miggsy was in yesterday. He was giving us all the good insight, everything. So, but I didn't expect the start to be like that. I didn't expect the first period to be bing, bing, bing. Good night, Irene. She's gone. Like, adios. Like, peace out. Like, players draw Dadonov's out of the game. He's injured. Then another penalty. There's like so many dumb penalties all over the place that was just killing them for anything. And then Ottinger just gets lit and pulled too. Like the one backbone thing that they had, Merles, like
That was my whole basis of my entire day was based on him having a game where some of those games when he just looks so calm and easy. Even on that first goal, he didn't look right. Yeah, it was a great pass across, but Marshy didn't even raise the puck. It was along the ice. And if you rewatch it, like he didn't move how he normally should move. That should have been an easy, like just slide his big leg pad over there. And that wasn't Marshy's. If Marshy put it up top, okay.
Yeah.
But that should not even have been a goal. And that kind of worried me. I'm like, uh-oh. And then the penalty is like, ugh, I didn't even want to watch the rest of the game, but I had to make sure nothing like crazy happened in it.
Ray Ferraro made a good point in just assessing, but on the first goal, on that very first goal, Marshy back. Is that what the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
The very
Eichel
first.
across straight
Oh,
through.
what a pass by
Yeah, what a
Eichel!
pass.
I mean, this guy. But Ferraro made a point about like his playmaking. Like he's looking to pass too much, and he said like if he started shooting on the power play because he's got a really good shot, he can rip that thing.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
It would kind of change the look of the power play a little bit and maybe change the vibe a bit. But like that first goal, I mean, just off a cycle, a one battle, Barbashev. Merles, like this Barbashev too. Eichel, Barbashev, their guys are going, man. You can't
Barbashev was
push
a
them
great
around.
pickup. What a pickup he was. But before we talk about the rest of this, I'm going to get in trouble if I don't talk
Oh,
about
we got to
the
get
score
this.
bet.
Yeah, we got to get.
I got to
that.
get
Sorry,
the
my
score
boy.
bet. The score bet is the best sports book for the hockey obsessed. It's got daily specials from the Chicklets crew. It has other specials on there. You're always getting the best odds. It's for everybody in Ontario, but always play responsibly. 19 plus. If you have a gambling problem, call Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600. That's the score bet in Ontario, and there's only one hockey game tonight, but I've been looking. There's some day baseball games I'm going to be looking at. There's some World Championships lines on there that we'll get into. They're down to the quarterfinals, but that's all on the score bet. So the score bet Ontario. What else you got on this game, Army?
Well, I got to give credit to, and we kind of talked about it yesterday. I'm sorry, I was just sending out a tweet. I was just sending out the bat signal, like we're going,
Let's get
baby.
in here. Get everybody in here.
Everybody in here. I want to remind everybody again that's watching on. You got to come to Chicklets YouTube page, Merles, right? And we want to get subscribe. We want to get you to notified so that we can keep this thing going, so you know when we're on. But we read the chat on the YouTube, so that's the one we read. So if you're on another platform and you're trying to message and get in on the chat, we're not seeing it. We're seeing the YouTube one. So come on over to YouTube and join in. We love interacting. Yesterday was fire. Yesterday was so fun with everybody getting her going. We had Singsy was back in yesterday. So I see Rear Ads is in there. Let's go.
There.
Let's go.
We're going to hear from him soon. We will hear from the man himself soon.
He can't help himself in the chat either. I guess he's addicted too. So, yeah, we're going to get RA on today. We had the Glass Banger guy on. Did you notice him? We had him on
I kept
yesterday.
looking. I didn't really know where he sat, and I'm
trying to get a peek
at
Jane. You were trying to get a peek at Jane.
I was just so upset about the game, and I kept thinking like, well, they get one because the announcers kept saying it too. Like, if they get one, then they can get back in it. I'm like, yeah, he's right. Yeah, if they do get one, I knew it was done.
Yeah, I mean, it was a beatdown. I was going to say though, before you went to score bet, I was going to say we got to we got to watch this. Like I was watching this Vegas D. Like McNabb is, I mean, he's not the prettiest he's like stone kind of, but like way more physical, nasty beast from Sasky. Shout out to Saskatchewan. Just an absolute animal. You watch him like boxing out. They showed a thing last night too on the house area, how Dallas just can't get anything going in there. Can't get into the mixer. They couldn't get it going. But when they're good, what do they do best? They're able to get in, right, Merles? But these guys are
Vegas D is
crazy at boxing out.
They're huge. They're all big. They're like an old. I talked about it before. They're like a D core that we used to have to play against, where it was 6'2" and up. If you were under that, you weren't allowed to play. It was wild. Remember, like it didn't matter how good you were. If you weren't 6'2", you couldn't play D in the NHL. That was the rules.
Yeah. So that's them. You can't push them around. Like you see Domi come and start swinging at Hag. He's like laughing.
Yeah.
And I like Domi. I like that Domi did that at that time a little bit too, just because it was out of reach already, and he was pissed off, and he just wanted to get some shit going. I know, like, I don't know where Dallas goes from here. Like 3-0 Merles. What's
Vegas,
the playbook?
Like they're not gonna lose. They're gonna lose 4 straight. Aiden Hill, like he looks great. Just big body, let the pucks hit him. The easy shots coming at him. Couple posts. Yeah, if that post goes in from Robertson. Yeah, of course it's a different story, and it's the same with the series we're going to talk about later. They've hit the post, and if they go in, but it's
Did we hit on anything last night? I know you were heavy on Dallas, but did we get any of those little like points or anything? How about the Laura? Did the Laura get it going?
No, I didn't even look at her. She gave me 9 different people and shots. I don't have time to look that up. I got a kid over here. Miggsy hit his over Vegas, missed on those. The rest of us were all on Dallas, and we made the money on the Sweden U.S. game. We gave a little bit back, so
I took
All in
the
all,
draw.
it's a good night. It's a
I
good
took
day.
the draw.
Let's
I
turn it
just
around.
found
Guys, real quick, Merles, just check your phone here. We just got to have you
Oh.
unplug your mic, and it's a little fucked up right now. So I'm going to pull you out, unplug your mic, get it all fixed up, and we can maybe have our first guest join us. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we got technical issues. That's why G's on the fly. He's producing the hell out of this. Way to go, G. He's in the back. He's like the Wizard of Oz back there. That was so funny before you took Merle's out. He's looking at the back of his microphone like he had no clue what he was doing. We're losers over here. We're just
we're
losers.
Trying. We're trying here.
We're absolute losers. Not you, me and Merles. We have no clue what we're doing. Like, we're just trying to, make it work here. So thanks everyone staying with us. Chat's buzzing. I love it. I love the chat. What do we got in here? I see Singsy's running the chat. You know what? Do you know this?
Here.
Like, Singsy's like the master of the chat, G.
Oh, yeah, he's like the ringleader.
He's the ringleader. Totally ringleader. He has like, he's talking to everyone. I'm glad the relationships that are building out of this chat as well. And we're seeing people talking about Game Notes Daily Meetup. They came up. It's either, I saw Singsy tweeted it. It's either Vegas, it's either Fort Lauderdale, or it's Nashville.
We need it.
Which
we need it to
would be so
happen.
fun. It would be so fun to see everybody. So you guys decide, and we'll see if we can make it happen in the future here coming up. Not in not too distant future.
Army, let me bring in guest number 1 here, though, to say hi.
Okay, who we got? The Harry.
Mr. Admiral.
Did he the brick wall Bob? Oh, let's go.
Gotta get my mic here, boys. Can you hear me all right?
Oh, I love that. Look how he just cranks the mic down. See, this is a professional. Well, Merles is out there just trying to unplug his mic and get it going, RA. We got you just pulling your microphone down off
I'm
of
back. I'm back.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. Can you guys hear me
Back
okay?
in.
We got you. You're back, baby.
First time. Weird. RA comes on and all my equipment falls apart. This guy.
Sabotage.
Buddy, when he came on too, did you see him? His hat was like his hat was close.
and he's got the brick wall Bob shirt. Nice.
Brick wall ball. I also got a 40-1 Conn Smythe on Aiden Hill, too. Just an unintentional hedge with my Florida. Yeah, I mean, obviously Jack's playing great, but we'll see what happens. How we doing, boys?
Good.
Good,
Oh,
good.
doing good, buddy. Doing really good. Yeah, just crazy series though. Like, I mean, I know you're on Florida. I know like Vegas is just like a lot to handle. But like 3-0 double series, like what are we doing here? Like what's going on?
It's tough. I mean, last night you're figuring Dallas is going to come back. Unfortunately, I don't have kids nor a college fund that I blew on that game last night. But I mean, I know you guys already talked about it. Jamie Bennett has to be the worst penalty of the playoffs easily. Probably the worst in the playoffs of the last several years. Like, what the f are you thinking, man? Just to deliberately smash that guy's head off his neck, his head into the ice. I mean, it's stunning how bad of a play that was to put your team behind the 8 ball like that. You're the captain of the team, a must-win situation. I woke up today still stunned at what we saw because, like you just said, Merles, they've been in both those games. They kind of blew the second one late. 2 overtime games. You don't have to change what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then that play. And, I mean, Dallas didn't come out to play either, even before that. I mean, it was only 2 minutes, but Vegas had the early jump. They scored. Ottinger didn't have it last night. I think they said last night he played 41 out of their last 46 games. And, Wedgwood played, I think, one game already. He didn't look so bad. I mean, I don't know if you want to go start him, but Ottinger looks tired. He looked out of it. So, I don't know, man. 3-0. It's tough to come back. I've seen it happen right across the street from here a few years ago, but I don't know if we're going to get it again.
Yeah, you know what? I was like, we were saying that too. Like, I think that's why you were on Dallas, right, Mer? It's just like you expect them to come out. You're not done until you lose at home. And Dallas is like a pretty veteran-ladled team. Like, they've got good players in there that know how to handle situations and not get too high, too low, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what like the message was, like before the game to these guys, but it just seemed like you're right, RA. Like they were slow. It was just like they kind of rolled over. It was done before it started almost. That's the way it looked, right?
Yeah, but even down 3-0. I mean, I've been making the joke on Twitter for 8 years now. Graham always says best time to be down 3-0 is the first period. In this era of the NHL, it's not unfathomable that a team comes back from down 3-0. But I don't know. They had that power play opportunity. Couldn't do anything with it. But even so, you get the next goal. It's a two goal game, and then of course Dallas got the 4th goal. Then they started playing like shitheads late, like you just mentioned the Domi stuff. Like, come on, man, you're just waving the flag, just kind of being trashy, doing that shit late in the game. But I don't know. Vegas got it where they want them. That's for sure.
Yeah, they had nothing. That wasn't one of those games where I'm down 3-0. I'm like, oh, maybe they can do it. They didn't. They had no fight in them. They didn't look like anything. They had anything. They were brutal. But Vegas is awesome. They're good. The only question was the goaltender coming in. Like, we didn't really know who was going to be the goalie. Would he be able to handle a playoff run? And they've done it with both guys now, so. They're great, but
just a tremendous story too. Aiden Hill. I know, obviously, a few games to go left in this playoffs, but the numbers he has, I think he's got like a 9.40 save percentage. It goes against under 2. If they were to win the cup, he would get 11 wins, assuming he stays injury free. And you wonder, would that be enough for a goalie to win the Conn Smythe? Again, I obviously am rooting for Florida, but kind of doing that math in my head because Bob, I think, has 4 more wins than him. So a lot of hockey to go, but it's like, all right, looks like we're going to Vegas anyways right now.
You know what's crazy? Yeah. What a great reaction right there. I think the Aiden Hill story is cool because just kind of the backstory of him, which I heard. Was like,
I'm back.
There he is. Okay, we got him. You're good. You're good, Merles. We got you. The backstory on Aiden Hill was like they questioned whether he was like all in. I don't know if you guys heard that story. Like they said like he was kind of like he didn't take it seriously, I guess, like being an NHL goaltender and all this stuff. But I mean, maybe having that kind of attitude is also a good thing too. I always played with guys, Merles, I don't know, you probably did too, that like I wouldn't say they didn't care, but they almost were like so aloof to the fact that like the pressure or any situation wasn't like a big deal. And maybe that's good for Aiden Hill coming in this moment as like the 4th string guy to come in. And he's huge too. Like how big is that guy? 6'4", 220 for a goaltender? He looks like he's like huge. He's way bigger than Bob. Like he looks bigger than Bob. He's different than Bob, but I mean, he's doing the job for them right now. But we were talking before you came on, RA, about their D, like Golden Knights D. Just how big and strong they are and how much of a, you look at like Pavelski and those guys trying to get inside. It just makes it so much easier for a guy like Aiden Hill to see pucks and make saves. And he's just a big body guy that gets in the way.
Yeah, I think people sort of maybe forgot about him a little bit. We've been, focusing on Dallas and Colorado and other teams in the West, but they've been a contender for 6 years now. Every year they've been in the league, they've been 4 of the 6 Western Conference Finals since they entered the league. It's impressive as hell. And I think there's only 6 guys on the team that were on the original squad back in 17, 18 when they lost to the Capitals. So what they're doing, it's impressive as hell. I know we gave him props on the Chicklets this week, but Jack Eichel, God. He's not. I mean, he's got over a point per game, but his, both ends of the ice, this guy's playing like he's that, fully formed player that, they're hoping for. Well, I know Buffalo drafted him, but he's just great at both ends of the ice. And, certainly if Vegas were to win, he'll certainly get some Conn Smythe consideration as well. Obviously a long ways to go, but the way he's been playing hockey, it's been great to see. He's been killer at both ends of the ice.
Yeah, he has. I've loved Eichel big time. I've loved it. That series 3-0. Do we want to get over to your... They're calling you
sorry
the
there,
king
fellas.
King fan of the peas, RA. You're the king fan of the peas.
I love it. Like, oh, that's kind of weird. You're a Bruins fan wearing other teams' clothes. First off, I have every fucking logo in the league probably in my closet. Second, who gives a fuck what a stranger wears for clothes? Like, buddy, like you're chirping a guy about what he wears, a stranger, a grown man's clothes. Like, who gives a shit? This hat's probably 15 friggin' years old too. It's the old logo. Yeah, I'm rooting for the Panthers. I got a lot of reasons to root for them. Won't say how much, but I got a lot of reasons, and I'm gonna keep pulling for them.
Well, I've said it that you got the 40-1 shot. When did you put that in? Was that at the start of the season, mid-season, before the playoffs? When was that?
February, when they were in 10th place. They weren't even in the playoffs at the time. I was kind of, I'm not going to sit there and say the only team I bet in February on the cusp there, but that's what you kind of hope for. All right, maybe this team gets hot, gets in the playoffs, and what seeing now, it's like, all right, this is sort of the scenario I was hoping for. 40-1. And how about, did you see what I hit the other night, Merles? I knew you were a little late for the stream.
I love that one.
Yeah,
I can't believe that. I wish I knew you had that before. I would have been going crazy with all those empty net misses. For those at home, he had a final score ends 1-0. Was that 40-1 too?
Yeah, that was 40-1 too. Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah. Paid for my PGA losses over the weekend too. Yeah, 40-1. There'll be only one goal scored because basically that was the first 1-0 shutout we've had all playoffs. And I mean, it feels like we used to get a few more of those back in the day. But when they pulled what's his face, Freddie, with 3 minutes left, I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to sweat this out. And then, I mean, they almost got the empty net, or someone shot it on net, and I think it hit a defenseman's shin pad or whatever, and went wide. But I had to earn that one. But 40-1, nice little popped help the.
Yeah,
help the,
that's what
count.
all these games remind me of. Even just 6-7 years ago, these playoff games where it used to be tight like this. I remember taking under 4.5s. I remember I bet a Bruins game in the finals. They would win 2-0 exactly, and they did. It's old school now. It's back to that way, and I'm looking at the under again tonight because I just don't see Bob giving up any goals.
Oh, I mean, the zone he's in, I mean, we've seen goalies do it. I know Biz mentioned Jaguar, Hashing over the years, and that's exactly what it looks like. I mean, he's stopping everything. Saves you. Even the one that hit, I think it was, I don't know if it was Ekblad's foot or Stahl's foot. It looked like it was going, and he gets that left pad out at the last second. It's phenomenal to watch what he's doing. And, we goofed on him all year about the $10 million, and we talked about on Chicklets this week. He's more than earned his salary thus far, and if they were to win the Cup, then it'll be money well spent by Florida.
Yeah, and that's what you expect from a guy making $10 million to show up in these big moments like that, and that's why we give the Leafs such a hard time because all these guys are making $11 million, and they don't play like that where they're stealing games and leading the team in the way they do. And I know he's moved up the Conn Smythe now. I think he's plus 210. He's moved way ahead of Kachuk. Kachuk's plus 400. And you said you got Aiden Hill for Vegas. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 40 to 1.
to 1.
If it's under 10 to 1, I don't want to mess with it. I like to chase those huge odds. But obviously, I'm rooting for the P's, as Brooks Koepka would say. But, if Vegas if them two and Vegas steals it, then, hopefully Aiden Hill keeps continuing to stand on his head. I'll get some of that dough back.
Yeah, and we were talking yesterday about it. I was wondering, do you think there's a chance that, like, Florida could lose in the finals and he still wins the Conn Smythe, Bob? Like, he's playing that well?
Certainly a possibility. And Jaguar, I believe Jaguar was the last Conn Smythe winner on a losing team, if I'm not mistaken. 100% the way he's playing right now, he's just in that absolute zone. But as far as tonight's game, I mean, I got a series bet on Florida, but I probably will take them tonight. I've had them every game since they knocked Boston out, and I think they're 9-1 or 10-1.
10-1, I think it's up to now.
Yeah,
10-1.
Well, actually, well, minus the 3 games I didn't bet against them in the Boston series. So even so, I've had them with 7-1 since then. I've been just riding them. I mean, how do you not? They're making me some serious cabbage. So
we want to put you in Cats money line minus 115 official pick.
Yeah, screw it. I'm definitely gonna throw something on them tonight. And I don't see them beating Bob. I would imagine that Roddy will come back with Freddie. I mean, Freddie played a great game the other night. Just gave up the 1 goal, but the way Florida's playing right now, I don't know. I don't think they want to go back to what do you call it, Carolina. You don't want to give a team hope. I mean, well, kind of like Miami did to the Celts last night. Celts they got a big a road to hoe there, but you just don't want to give a team any hope and go back to the home barn with a wee bit of momentum even.
Sorry, boys, I had to step away there. Rod Brindamore was calling me. He wants to know if I want to suit up tonight.
Need take someone's head off out there.
Yeah. So Memesy broke the internet with the meme of you on the Titanic playing the violin. Are you going to stay on that boat, or are you jumping ship, Army?
Oh, buddy, I can't see it. I feel like Roddy was so distraught after the game. Did you see the post-game sound by Brindamore at all, RA? Just because he was like, I don't know what else we can do. Like, I don't know. Like, he was just so authentically himself, defeated. But it's like, I was like, whoa, shit, they got nothing. Like, they don't know what to do.
I mean, they threw everything at him, and nothing could stick. So, he sounded borderline despondent. And, Carolina, they've been knocking at this door for a while. Their second conference finals in, I think, 5 years. And, they've been kind of at the precipice of getting to the Cup there. And, you play a game like that. I mean, they played almost a perfect game except for that 1 goal, and they got nothing to show for it. So I can imagine that's pretty damn frustrating.
Guys, we have someone else who wants to jump in and talk some Panthers. Why don't we bring him in?
Ooh. Let's go. We got RA. Who else do we got? There he is. Marshy. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, they got a both on. Look at these guys.
Let's go, all right.
Twins.
Yes.
What's going on,
One
Jake?
more. Got to close it out. Long way to go.
I thought we were
though.
going to get Brooks Koepka on. I don't know. Now we got Marshy coming in.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think? What are you thinking, Bud? Obviously, you're comfortable, but do you think it's done tonight? Do you think Canes have any life in him? We were just talking about Brindamore post-game. He was just so, down, I think they're just defeated. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were talking about it. It's an identical spot that the Heat were in. Now that the Heat gave one to the Celtics, they have hope. They're going back home. So that's kind of how I feel like with the Panthers right now. If the Panthers don't close out Game 4 at home tonight, all the momentum goes back to Carolina at home. They theoretically could take care of business. Then all pressure's back on the Panthers in Game 6 at home. I'm viewing Heat Celtics. If it gets to Game 6 in Miami, I'm viewing that as Game 7. And that's how I view this. If it goes back to 3-3 to Carolina, Carolina should close the deal because they have all the momentum. So I think tonight you have two opportunities. You have tonight and you have game 6 on paper, but obviously the Cats have proved us wrong before.
I don't know. You're kind of scaring me here. You're maybe talking me into Carolina tonight. Can they do this? Can they?
The Titanic isn't going down, Merles. The Titanic isn't going down, baby.
Cautious. I'm just being cautious. You can't pencil the Panthers into the Stanley Cup until they win 4 games. So we'll see.
Yeah, I just look at it, and maybe this is another conversation. I know you guys are on the Cats and everything, and Marshy's a big Cats guy, but like, should they have not done more at the deadline, the Canes? Like, if you're this good this many years in a row and you're this competitive, should you not? Like, I look back at it, I'm like, God damn, Canes. Like, if you're going to be good and you're going to, like, roll in the season, you're going to be this consistent, you're going to be this consistently tough of a team to play against, don't you want to, like, enhance this team a little bit better than, like, Jesse Puljujärvi? And everyone's like, you don't want to sell the future. You don't want to sell the future. But, like, what are you waiting for? Do you want to, like... You gonna go for it or not? Or are you just gonna be like, well, let's go give it another shot? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if what people saying that the first 2 rounds. I guess everything was going humming along nice and smooth. The first couple rounds they won, and now obviously that it's catching up with them. The I guess lack of scoring depth and not being able to put the puck on the net. But I mean, if I was a fan, I probably would have seen him do something. Would have liked to have seen him do something, but. I don't know. People didn't say it the first 2 rounds, and now that they're getting doused by Florida, it seems to be a talking point. But I mean, I don't know what they could have realistically done without giving up too much. I'm not sure who was still left at the time. I mean, it feels like the trade deadline feels like 17 years ago right now. But I think people just frustrated, and it's at that woulda, coulda, shoulda phase, and kind of going over what they could have done different. But they're just running into a literal brick wall.
Yeah, Jake, I wanted to get you on here. I didn't want to talk as much hockey as I'm planning my trip. I think this series is done. I'm planning my trip to Fort Lauderdale. What do you got for us for a tip down there? We were talking yesterday. There's really nothing out by the rink, or do you got a backdoor spot for us? Give us some inside scoops.
Yeah, so I assume you guys were down there for the All-Star weekend, right? A few weeks ago or a few months ago. Yeah, so I'm sure you discovered that the arena is literally next to a mall, Sawgrass Mills. Yeah. So outside of the mall, yes, there's not much going out there. So yeah, your spot would be Fort Lauderdale, which is like 30-ish minutes away. But yeah, great food, great bars. My favorite sub is Las Spadas. You got to go to Las Spadas. Huge.
Write that down, Merle.
Huge sandwiches. Look it up. I'll text you the info. They have one in Fort Lauderdale. It's all around South Florida.
Let me ask you about this. A place we always used to go down there when we ate there, and I used to love going there. Shout out if there's any other people from Florida on the chat. Fort Lauderdale people. Cafe Motorano's. Do you know what that place is? Like a little strip mall, kind of weird. Like, but
is that the wild Italian place?
It's a wild, like that Philly guy that does those meatball subs in his basement. Unbelievable spot. The backyard in Florida. In Fort Lauderdale, sorry. Chip Snyder chimes in, giving us another one. But we used to go there all the time. We'd eat. The food was really good. It was pretty pricey. But like when the Scarface or something would be on, and then when a good movie scene came on, the DJ would stop playing music and they'd like play the movie scene. It was kind of cool, like a badass theme. Smaller little place. Good food though.
I think somebody went on Chicklets. Was it Ronick or somebody was talking about that place on a Chicklets episode? That was the first time I heard about it.
Yeah, great.
He said it's wild. Must spot go. We like the water taxi there, Jake. Me and Army, we're big water taxi guys. You ever done that down there?
I've never done that. No. But yeah, Fort Lauderdale is great. Also, you can just go to any Publix and get a pub sub. That's a big thing too.
Yeah, they are good subs.
The supermarket.
Supermarket.
Okay.
What about
really?
Oh yeah. You wouldn't
really
think
good.
Supermarket subs, but Publix is well renowned for that down in the state of Florida. Jake, you ever been at Anthony's Runway 84?
Runway 84 was going to be my Italian recommendation, but you guys said Marnorana too. Runway 84 is amazing. The Italian's really good down there. One of those 2 spots you can't go wrong for Italian for sure.
Yeah, Motorano. We're seeing here. Chip is a foodie. He must be a foodie, saying he's a Philly guy, which is right. He sold Philly meatball subs out of his basement in Philly, and then opened up this restaurant down in Fort Lauderdale, I think. So pretty cool story. Pretty good spot. Maybe we'll see some people around there. We got to hit up that spot. We got to hit up these recommendations. All right, Marshy. Last time only time I worked with you, NYPD FDNY game. Obviously, I think was a giant slingshot into stardom for you. Great call with Biz Nasty standing there next to that lunatic. But what are your picks tonight? I want to know your picks tonight.
All right. Well, I have to go Panthers money line. I have to stay loyal. What's the update? You guys know more than me on Barkov. Is he playing?
He's in. He's confirmed in. The coach said he was the freshest guy on the ice this morning.
Okay, I love
that
to hear
guy's
that.
a liar.
So,
that guy's a liar.
whatever his odds to score a goal are, take it. And everyone will tweet like, seems like he's okay. You know how people do that when anytime there's injury question marks. So yeah, take him. And hopefully Bob can keep doing his thing. Go to store.barstoolsports.com for this brick wall.
There it
Bob
is,
shit.
right there.
Yeah.
Is that your design? Did you design that one, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't physically draw it, but I hit up the merch team. I said, let's get Brick Wall Bob with a brick layout, and hopefully Panthers fans will like it. So
yeah, you're leading the charge there at Barstool. Is there anybody else besides RA that's jumped on your bandwagon?
And you, Merles, and you flopper. You flopped. I'm still on the Titanic. I'm still steering that puppy. Shout out to Memesy.
PFT is on the Panthers as well. I don't know if you guys saw this crazy bet he put in last night or yesterday during the day. He took the Heat and the Panthers to both win the series at 3-0 each. 10,000 to win like 1,200.
That is not a good play.
That's just.
And the Heat lost last night, so hopefully for his sake, the Panthers can close the deal. So he's on my side too.
Yeah, that's a bad one. I saw the Celtics. They were plus 800 yesterday. They're down to plus 210 today to win the series. That's crazy.
You get one, you're right back in the series. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic on the Cats.
All right, Marshy. Thanks for joining us, buddy. Love having you on. Great seeing you. Continued success, crushing it all over the place. I think you were doing golf before. Like you're doing it. We're
doing golf in July. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Ferry tour.
Nice.
Yeah. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. I'm sure you'll see Whit on there. I'm sure Whit will have to talk to you about that. That's pretty exciting stuff to be doing that. So great job.
Absolutely.
Awesome seeing you. I'll be watching, thinking of you. Well, mostly thinking of you linked to RA now because you guys are Cats guys.
That's fair. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks, Jake.
See you, Jake.
There he goes.
That's the voice of the FDNY game.
Yeah.
Play by play. He does the Barstool basketball. He did the football. He does the hockey, and now he's going to do the golf. So awesome to have him on. There's not many Florida fans around, RA. It's tough to find you guys to get on the show.
They're saying, I'm seeing in the chat, RA, they're calling you #Florida guy.
Florida man. Yeah, that's not the worst analogy, I guess.
Florida
I
man,
have some Florida man stuff in my history, you might say. But yeah, man, like I said, it's easy. Like, I don't know if you maybe get older, whatever. You just the team lost, man. It's like, what am I gonna do? Not root for the team? I can win a bunch of money on them. I mean, the Bruins are done. I'm not gonna sit here and mope about it. They lost. I get over it pretty quickly. Like whatever. Like, but they lost Game 7 of the Blues. I mean, all right, right over the game they're done. I went down and interviewed all the Blues and just went into media mode. It's like I'm not gonna sit and cry my bear over a team losing.
You gave me so much shit for going and partying with the Blues 5 days later. It was 5 days later, and you give me shit for you to say that. That's crazy.
I gave you 10% of the shit the other guys did. Whit was all over you.
You gave me more shit than anyone, RA.
Check the tapes. Check the game film. No way. I gave it to you once or twice, buddy. I didn't give you anything close as the fucking rest of the crew did.
But you still gave me shit, though. That's the point. You just said you get over it quickly, but when I got over it quickly, which was 5 days later, you had a problem with it.
Drinking in a club in Vegas is different than sticking a microphone in their face on the ice, I'd say. I mean, I didn't go and chase the cup around in the Garden when St. Louis won or the Blackhawks a few years before. I went into professional mode and did the media.
Yeah, but you just said you didn't give a shit and you didn't care and you didn't cry. It was 5 days later. I see them at a club in Vegas. Say, hey, how you doing, guys? And you gave me shit.
I'm saying as a fan, regardless of gamble, whatever. It's like, okay, I don't let losses linger. I don't let them stay with me. But that's
neither do I. But you gave me shit for it.
Okay.
Let me ask both you guys, both you Boston guys.
Hey, hold on. New headline. Yeah. Florida man throws guy under bus, ripped on asphalt.
Let me ask both you guys, does this Florida making this run, does it hurt or make it feel a little better knocking the Bruins out in the first round?
Well, that's for Leaf fans, too. Busy, we could ask him that one, too, because Florida's kind of just done a number on everybody.
I feel like a lot of Bruins fans, a lot of the Bruins fans I talk to have said, like, and I feel like this is a fan thing in general, if the team that your team loses to wins the cup, it does make you feel a little better, but it doesn't mean, personally, I'm not going to go root for the Florida Panthers, but like, I think it does make me feel better about the Bruins loss. Like, hey, the cup winning team did beat them. It wasn't the Bees collapse. It was more the Florida Panthers were the dogs, the big boys.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think, RA?
Actually, Ami, what about like either you guys when you get knocked out by a team? Like, do you say fuck them? I want them to lose, or would you say, hey man, they beat us, go win it?
Yeah, I want them to win. Yeah,
That happened to us, Merles. Our first time we made the playoffs, and it was against Ottawa, and Ottawa stormed to the final that first time. And lost to Anaheim in the final, but it's kind of like, as a player, I would think it's kind of like, oh, okay, at least we lost to the guys that took the whole thing down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to lose to somebody. They get swept the next round. You're like, oh, what were we doing? Like,
like
we
what
were
does that
better
look
than
like? Jersey look like? You know, it's like, oh shit, we're not even close. You know what I mean?
No,
I think the Bruins are probably just beating themselves up for having that lead that late.
Singsy.
Even going 7 games with a 3-1 lead, I think they're just probably beating themselves up more than they are worried about like who's going to win it. You know, they gave it away.
Yeah.
Singsy actually makes a good point. Styles do make fights a little bit, and teams that play differently compared to other teams. He's making a point. He's saying he thinks that Jersey would give him a better run than the Canes have right now, just because of their style of play. So I think
those Devils wouldn't have.
I think that's a fair.
They would half of them would be
though.
Sitting out. They've been so scared of going against like Gudis. Are you kidding me?
Jesper Bratt going down.
Yeah,
with Gudis,
he didn't want to play against the Rangers. Come on, beat it, Singsy, with your Devils.
That picture.
I think it's a good point.
Big boy hockey. The Devils want no part of that big boy hockey.
That picture of Gudis you guys sent to the group chat the other night he looked like he just killed all the Peaky Blinders like 5 seconds before that with that suit on and the hat and the beard. Like he's a bad looking motherfucker.
Oh yeah, he's like a Peaky Blinders and like a Viking
like
mixed together.
Eastern Euro Peaky Blinder.
Yeah, he's just insane looking. Credit to them though, man. This is gonna be. Here we go. What do we got? Fringe Canadian. Devils are a worse version of the Canes. Sigsy, Pasha. What's up, boys?
Not sure it matters. I mean, and I think, too, how many people just forgot about Florida with the fact that they won the Presidents the year before, and they upgraded. I mean, they went from Huberdeau to Kachuk, who obviously I don't think too many people are going to say he's not a better player right now, and they did lose Uyghur, and all that did was open the door for Montour to kind of show his stuff, and I don't know. I think people just sort of forgot, this team's actually pretty good. And then they brought Maurice in, who's, I know people are recycle coaches, but the guy's been in the league for, 25 years for a reason because he's a pretty good coach. He hasn't won a cup yet, but he's 5 games away right now.
And then on top of it all, boys, it's like kind of funny. Like Big Walt Kachuk kind of kicked him in the ass too, called him soft. That seemed to
and it turned it around. It really did. It's just crazy that this team was so bad in the regular season. How did they just flip the switch like that? It's crazy.
I think it was Marchand had a quote here. He said, basically they're getting the saves now that they didn't get during the season. Like that, they were sort of a discombobulated team. I know they had a lot of moving parts come in and a new coach and all that, but basically, they're getting the saves now that they weren't. And, you got to tip your cap to Alex Lyon, too. I know we've mentioned before, but he kept them afloat when they needed it. He's a huge reason they got in the playoffs, and then he kind of handed the baton over to Bob when he kind of ran out of gas a little bit, and Bob's been on a heater since the old brick wall.
There he goes. He is. So Marshy threw out a Barkov goal tonight. Do we have any more of those? Any more kicking around? RA, what are you thinking on as far as your picks would go for dropping some dough on first goal or any of that kind of stuff?
It's so much. There's so much vagary there. Like as far as first goal, will this guy score tonight? I don't think the payback on him is that big enough. You know what I mean? Because it's so hard to score a goal. There's only
not in this series.
I think
in this series they should change those odds. I was thinking the same thing. Like you can't score on these guys.
Exactly. Why plus 180 or 200 on a good player? That's just not a great return for me. What's up, Chief?
That's why those first period unders have been money for me. 11-3 this postseason so far. The Hurricanes first period under. So I'm hammering that again. Got to ride the hot hand. It's hit the past too, especially after I had the hockey gods coming down for me last time and recalling those 2 goals. So I'm riding that again.
Oh my God, what a break on that one. That was actually super exciting.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Just because you had that going and you've been talking about it so much just for it to happen like that. It was just like super exciting. That's why we do this. We see Aho anytime goal, Billy Kent. We see some of these things coming down. What's Bob saves? What is that? I like Bob saves.
Yeah, how can you take anybody on Carolina to score? I don't see how you can
Yeah,
do that.
I'd
I can
probably
look
lean-
up the saves.
You got
Lean
Mark
under,
Stahl
just-
just clearing the house out of there. Like he's
I might take the under too, just like any elimination game with two goalies playing well. It's like last night, well, it looked like it was going over last night. They only ended up with 4 goals in the game last night, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think under when teams are on the brink like this is a pretty good play, but at the same time, I don't want to go too buck wild because I don't want to eat away at my potential. What do you call it? My potential Florida winning. So I don't want to go too nuts.
Well,
I'll
that's
throw
my
this.
big question for you, RA, and I will be when we get together in Vegas. It looks like we'll be there together. I will be going into your accounts on your phone. Are you going to hedge the 40-1? Don't lie to us because I'm going to check those accounts.
This is a great question.
I probably will. I got to wait and see the odds. Now, obviously, if Vegas is probably going to be, if it's Vegas, Florida, what do you think Vegas will be? 150, Merle's high?
I don't think that high. I was looking earlier at them now, and it's not even. They're not that far off.
Yeah, I'm sure
future,
I
so.
will. I don't know if I'm going to wait for that first game to play out because I had a monster bet on the Bruins back in 2011, and I didn't hedge at all. I let it ride. And I had $5,000 on the Bruins,
Singsy.
and I didn't hedge anything. And they were down 2-0. I was like, too late to hedge now. But I got lucky there and held on. So I probably will. But I'm a big let it ride guy, so we'll have to see what happens.
Like as of now, Vegas to win the Cup is -118, and Florida to win the Cup is +125. Obviously, that will change a little bit once it's decided, but that gives you a rough idea when you're starting to think about that.
Yeah, if it's that low, then I probably would bet it before the game. And yeah, I can obviously guarantee myself whatever, split it 50-50 and guarantee myself half. But I think there's also the gambler's ego too.
Yeah,
It's like you like to be right. It's
I would go
money's
like
great.
25-75 or something, maybe
something like that.
30-60. I definitely wouldn't do the 50-50 because, like you said, I want to show I'm right. I want to be right.
Yeah.
Elio will kill
I know,
us.
I love
He
that.
wants that no hedge, but.
Yeah, I will see what happens because it's not like I get $5,000 on like I did with Boston back in the
So
day.
here,
It's,
this one, boys. Gav, Duclair, half a point plus 140. I was just about to call this out. Hold on. 2 points plus 700 Duclair. I've loved Duclair's game. He's a big body guy. He can
Putting
get
you on
inside.
that.
He uses his speed. I think he's been really good since, getting scratched and coming back in and been really, really effective. And I like, obviously, 2 points is like crazy in the playoffs, but especially you're trying to put a team out. But I do like even 1 point. But if you want to get crazy, if you got the marbles, you want to go plus 700. I like Duclair, 2 points.
I
Put me
love
down
that.
for that.
I got him just for shots. I got him over 1.5 shots -155 on my sheet. I don't love those juice, but 2 shots. I think he averages 4 or 5 a game. He's buzzing out there.
Yeah, he's buzzing. He's buzzing.
I got to run it back the same one from last game, Earls. Hope for another 1-0 game. 40-1.
That is
That's
crazy.
a good price, especially when I popped it the other night.
Yeah, you have to. If you don't and it hits, you'll go bananas.
Exactly. I probably had about 15 other times this playoffs. Like I couldn't believe there wasn't 1-0 shutout all playoffs until the other night.
Yeah, that was crazy. What a call. RA, you mystify me a lot of times with some of the stuff that you do because I'm like, that sounds so like out there.
Not even
like-
gambler, just in general.
Oh, you're a beauty. You're a beauty. But I got to give you credit, man. You banged down some pretty unorthodox things and have some pretty unique thinking. So that's why
Appreciate
we
it.
wanted to get you on. We like having you on here because people want to hear that shit, man.
Pleasure's all
People
mine,
love
buddy.
to hear that. I love
RA's
it.
Gambling Corner. Find some of his picks on the score bet. You'll find his specials all season long. RA's Gambling Corner.
Yeah,
Yep.
gotta go study the book a little bit more. I'm still having my coffee, I'm not an early riser guy. You know that. Gotta go to lunch with my parents in a little while, so a little pizza,
Nice.
a little
Nice. Where you headed? Where are you going, RA?
Santapio's best pizza in Boston. Regina's good, but it's number 2 to Santapio's. So gotta go.
Jacob says we got to
to
get some words underneath you to transcribe what you're saying here. Closed caption.
Yeah, no shit. I know. Good luck to the guy trying to go through the closed caption and figure out what I'm saying.
Well, RA, thanks for the time, buddy. You're a beauty.
My pleasure, boys.
We'll keep
Yeah,
track
thank you,
of all this
RA.
stuff. We'll catch you on our
Anytime.
group chat tonight, as we always pop off during
Yep.
game time.
Always
We'll
fun
see if
during the game.
your Panthers can close it out, buddy.
Let's go, peace.
Brick wall ball. There he goes. All right, thanks, buddy. That's
Oh,
awesome.
that guy's a beauty.
Oh, he's a
my-
beauty. He came in guns a-blazing. He was just giving it left and right. He's all fired up for it. So, and he's always good to have on, like I said, just because he has like a, he finds those little gems in there. He has a unique looking. Oh, here we go. Now we got to get this. We got to get this.
Well, it's crazy. Over the years, like when you said that about RA and his uniqueness to his, it's crazy. Like the bets that this guy makes that he'll text a group chat are just things that you would never think of. Like last game, how he had, what was it, like a 1-0 final? Like who bets that? Like who the hell bets that? And he does, and they hit, and it's like. Yeah. But every time I always will like pump his tires for it, and Whit will always be like, "Gee, how many bets do you think he put in that he's not telling us about?" But I mean,
he shows us those awesome ones, but like,
it's typical gambler. Only talk about the winning stories.
Very unique mind though. Very unique.
Did you give your picks, G? Did you give your picks?
Yeah, I said I'm on the under again. I gotta take first period under a goal and a half. It's been working for me. Gotta ride the hot hand.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. I like Duclair 2 points plus 700, and I guess it's kind of like, should I stay on the ship? I'm just gonna stay off of it. Do I get the violin cranked out and just sit there while we go down? Do I do Kane's money line to stay alive? I don't believe in it. I just don't. But I can't. Fucking Canes, man. God damn. Rod the Bond just did his.
I mean, if they get a power play early and score, like, is that how they beat Bob? And then just lock it down?
Here we go. I see a guy here. The Merles, Dan, three-way Canes, he says. Three-way Canes. That's a Merles move.
Yeah, that is, but I'm off the Canes. They let me down. They let me down at home.
You jumped
They're
in
a home
the
team.
Rescue boat. You jumped in the rescue boat. You're out.
I'm out of there.
Unbelievable. Okay, where are we going now? We got through this game. You got any World Championship chatter here, Merles?
Yeah, and then I got something else to ask you afterwards, too.
Okay.
But the Worlds will start tomorrow, quarterfinals. This is when it gets serious. Like you told us, Canada moves to the real hotel, locked in.
Yep.
So
here we
there
go.
it is. There's
Look at
the
this.
sheet. Those early games are U.S. Czech is going to be real early for you guys, and the Swiss-Germany will be real early. I'm going to just take U.S. to win and Swiss to win money lines. Very simple parlay. It's minus 106. Just to have a little action on the morning games. And then I'll be on Twitter for the other games. Canada's got a tough matchup there playing Finland.
I think so too. I looked at that. I'm like, shit. So maybe that loss, did that hurt them in getting lined up with Finland a little bit?
It was more like Finland not playing how they're supposed to. They came in as the favorite. So yeah, that's tough for Canada.
Who are they talking about? Is it Rantanen? Is he there and he hasn't done anything?
Yeah, he's been quiet. Yeah, he's there. Joel Armia was there.
Yeah.
They had some other couple big names. Rantanen's been quiet, but this is what Finland does. Finland and Canada. They both whoever wins that game will probably go to the final and win it. That's how they both are. They both show up in this thing when it matters the most.
They crank it up when it's on. Yeah. There's I've been there. I played there twice at Worlds for Canada, and you get through the preliminary rounds. You're going to get through because there's always some what do they call them in boxing? Like some soup can, soup can countries that you're just getting beat up on.
Tomato can.
Tomato can countries that you can just whack. But it's when it hits and we switch the hotels and things crank up and it's dial in time, it's go time. So you're right. I'm kind of scared of the Finns though. They can play good D. They play that abrasive style, like Canadian style hockey a little bit, probably more so now than even Canadians do. But you're right. You're probably right. And you're thinking with that just because they can crank it up so much. So I like that parlay, an early morning game, and then we'll have to keep track of you a little later for the next games.
Yeah, I haven't dove into those yet, but Canada is a little bit of an underdog because Finland, I haven't even looked that up yet. Where they should still be playing in Finland, so they're at home. That's going to be a tough game. That's an overtime. That's one we look at for overtime. So that's how you talk it into it. Like, I can't decide. Boom, we'll take overtime.
Yeah,
Swiss looks amazing. They do. They got some good players coming in.
Yeah,
U.S. that. Yeah, so Worlds, we can talk more tomorrow about that. But those are the early games.
That'll be exciting to have on tomorrow. Yeah, we can break down all these games, especially when it's all business and we get through this and we get into the knockout rounds now. So that's even better. That's even bigger. So we'll be keeping track of that. For everybody, anything else there, Merles? G,
yeah, well, you're our Penguins insider. I read on the internet, so it's got to be true that Kyle Dubas met with number 87 last night.
I saw that too, and he was 5 minutes from my house.
He saw that too. Colby was sitting right next
he was in
to
the
him.
meeting.
He was at dinner with them. He's eating the bread, buttering it up for him.
I didn't know. I had no clue what was going on. So the meeting, I guess he's in town. He's checking out the facilities by the sounds of it. He was at the practice rink was what was reported by, I think, Taylor Haas here in town, local reporter. Give her a shout out. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. It seems too like I think I'm seeing that they've eliminated other candidates now in the GM search. So it seems like it's down to like Matthew Darsh, who I played with in Montreal. Well, I missed him, but I hung out with him a lot during the lockout. And has been successful down in Tampa, obviously, as their assistant GM for a number of years. And now Dubas in the mix. And I think I seen reported that some of these other guys were out of there. So Dubas getting right in the mix, getting rolled out here, looking at the facilities, apparently talking with 87.
I feel like the conversation starts and ends there. It's like once you talk to Sid, it's like, where do you see this team going? Because whatever you want to do and whatever you think we should do is what we're going to do, right?
Yeah. I know he's doesn't want to be he's not that guy, I don't think at all, that would like interfere with anything decision-making wise. As far
Not
as
like
that.
LeBron James.
No, he's not in there hand picking everything.
But you want
he's
his
not that
opinion,
guy.
though, don't you?
Possibly, but he's just a player. Like he's a simple dude. Like he's just a team player. He's a regular guy. I think Merle's right. Like we could agree, he's always been that. Just wants to go play and be around the boys and just win. And so I don't think he likes to dabble into that area at all.
So do you think he stays there forever? Biz has always made the jokes that they'll trade him to Colorado. Do you guys both think he's a Penguin for life?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I agree. This guy's saying Darsh, Greels, and Dubas and Chayka are the final four.
There it is right there. That's their. I know they got rid
still,
of
how's this guy? That can't be serious.
They got rid of McKinnon. I know I saw, and they got rid of someone else who were like out of the talks or something. I think I saw I think it was Pierre LeBrun tweeted something about
Hulsky's
that.
out of the
Greeley would be great. I love Greels.
Tulsky was another name they said it was out. Yeah, so. Interesting days here. We'll see if by the end of the week, if they come up with anything or we get something next week. I don't
Greels
know.
was good in Buffalo. He was there. He knows the young talent. He's got his ear to the ground with all the college coaches and the juniors. He knows all these young kids, and that's what Pittsburgh's going to have to do. The time is coming. They're going to have to get young at some point here.
I think they got 2-3 years to go for it. You got to go. You got Gino. You just signed Gino. You just signed Tanger. You got to build something and try to do something. And as long as you have Sid, and then it's going to be, guys that have to know how to draft, find prospects, control that area.
I would try to trade Letang. I think you could get some good young prospects.
He's got a no trade. He got the new contract with the no trade at all.
What if you send him up to like Montreal or something, or somewhere where he wants to go?
Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen, but big massive turn last summer at the draft. I was there. They signed Tanger like the day of the draft or like the day before or something, and then followed by Gino a few weeks later, which I think they were, the plan was kind of to like start to retool. And after signing those guys and getting the mandate that we got to bring these guys back and having these guys together, I think changed things a lot. So we'll see how they can retool on the fly, build a team, try to make some noise again.
Is that what you were laughing at, Merle? I saw you look at the comments and start laughing, so I thought it was that one.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I don't think he'd go there either. I don't know. But
if he did move, I would say it's like Montreal or LA would be my only two I would ever say he would move to. I guess Colorado too with the McKinnon situation. And they're good. But
they're going to have some money, too, if Landeskog is Dunzo, too.
Yeah, that's crazy. We'll have to keep an eye on that situation in his rehab and coming back from that. So brutal. But maybe I'll throw my hat in the ring. Last-minute splash on the gym.
Yeah, do it.
I love that, Army.
You know more about hockey than this Chayka guy that had a statistician company before he took over for the Coyotes.
You got a Harvard degree in hockey, bud.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that good?
You need that. You put a little team. Yeah, you need a number cruncher. You're obviously not going to deal with the salary cap. I wouldn't be able to handle that, but you can handle the hockey part.
I know what a guy's worth. Come on, I know that, but Yeah, it could be like Tampa a number of years ago when they had 2 teams of guys signed. It was like, what the fuck's going on here? They had like Mark Recchi, Gary Roberts. They're signing all these guys. I had this guy, Blair Jones, living at my house. I think I've shared this story before. He was with Tampa. I came up after workouts one day. They signed like 4 more guys that day. It was crazy in Tampa. And I see him on his bed with his laptop open with like the transactions coming through. And he just has his head in his arms. He's like, oh my God. Like, what the? I like, Jonesy, what's up? He's like, Tampa just signed like 4 more like giant veteran guys. He's just like could just taste the minors. He could taste another.
I remember I would have the big board out on free agent day of the depth charts of each team that I was like, where am I going to fit in? Where can I be the first call up? Where can I make the team? And then
what's our minor league setup look like?
Yep, had it all.
Brownie says I'm like Jonah Hill from Moneyball. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I'm coming in. I'm coming in. Just
that's what they need to do. Pittsburgh's got to find some Moneyball players like that. They got to find some diamonds in the rough and get them next to Sid and Gino.
Yeah, well, I hope Pittsburgh can pull it out. It was kind of weird this year not having playoff hockey here. At least I know they've been knocked out in the first round for a bunch of years in a row now, but. It'd be nice to get them back on the right track. So hopefully Fenway can find the right guys to get the job done here. At least while we've got Life and Legs and Letang and Malkin and Sid to make some magic happen. So stay tuned tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, Merle's gave you your parlay picks. He's got U.S. and Swiss, a little money line parlay for you to start off the morning. Everybody, please enjoy this game tonight, elimination night, as the Canes try to hang on for dear life. I'm sure, Merles, you can put a blog together?
I'm going to do the blog, and I didn't put the menu in yesterday. I got too many guys trying to sniff ahead to the menu. They don't want to watch the show and get the picks, but I got crushed yesterday not putting the menu in.
Yeah,
so
I
got to put the menu in. It's all about superstition, just like when you're playing.
Yeah, you got to get the menu in there for everyone to check out so they can flip through the menu pages. It's like going to the Cheesecake Factory, He's got so many things on that menu. People love to
How about we get I meant to do it earlier. I was going to say we need the chat parlay for the boost tonight. I was going to let the chat decide the boost before we go. I don't know if there's anybody got a quick one in there. We'll do Barkov to score and the Panthers win.
Is that it? That's like a Marshy.
Harry
a Marshy
Flanders.
parlay.
There we go. And it works with him. We'll call it that. There we go. We're done.
The Flanders.
Sending it over.
The Harry Flanders. I love it. That's a beauty. Thanks, Harry. You're a beauty.
Harry,
all right, there it is. We got it. Thank you to RA for coming on, Marshy for coming on. We had the full Florida press today. Merles, and now even with you jumped ship. You jumped off the Titanic and saved yourself. I'm still standing on there, water's up to my knees.
I still got my hat up there, the Canes hat. If they can pull this game out, I'll jump back on them for Game 5.
He'll jump back. All right, here we go. And thank you to Score Bet, of course, presenting sponsor of Game Notes Daily. Awesome every day. Thanks, everybody in the chat. Enjoy the hockey tonight. Enjoy the day today. We'll see you tomorrow.